Guys, I don't expect us to have too many viewers today. Today is the day that we're all supposed to shut our phones off, lest we wish to become 5G zombies. But for the few brave souls who could not resist attending our weekly cult meeting, for those of you who have decided to keep your phone on and take such a mortal risk, I commend you and I welcome you to the October 4th, 2023 edition of Wizard Wednesday. Channeling in from the 5G Downs, this is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul, and joining me are my fellow zombies.
Dotta, hello. I got my microchips.
Bear, are you a zombie? Is your mic just muted?
Zombie bear.
So I actually have like an EMF detector, right? So that way you can like detect the electromagnetic fields. You know, it's quite enlightening actually. It does bother me a little bit.
Did you notice an uptick today during the...
I should have turned it on.
Dotta!
I should turn it on right now.
This would have been a prime time opportunity.
I know. I really missed my chance.
I have a 5G tower in my bed.
Why have a 5G detector when you're not even going to use it on the most important 5G day of the year?
Yeah, important.
This is my new favorite conspiracy theory going around Twitter. I actually thought, Dotta, that you would actually be a believer, but it sounds like you're not.
Oh yeah, no, I am. No, I just told you I've got an EMF detector.
He's literally measuring what's going on.
Except he didn't measure it for the event.
I know.
Because he's a zombie, 5G zombie.
Right? It like screws with your DNA, right? It like the waves screw with your mitochondrial DNA. They just did a study about how it's bad to put your iPhone like in your pocket, right? That you should carry it in like a purse or a fanny pack or something.
They did the study, but what was the result?
Oh, yeah. I don't have the receipts.
Once again, the important information is missing.
So you're saying Moonbirds were just trying to save lives with their fanny packs?
Oh, the morons.
We already have a question. It seems. I feel like we're going to get some zombie 5G information from this question. Easyano, is that how you say it? Easyanawi. Hello. He's either muted or he is a zombie.
He's a zombie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in addition to the zombie 5G meme, you know what my new favorite meme actually that I'm seeing going around Forgotten Runes is this: everybody's making Forgotten Runes toys with I think DALLE. Dotta, I know you did a bunch, but I'm seeing a bunch of other people do it as well.
It's so fun.
It's so cool.
It's so fun. Yeah, my parents were just like going through the old trunk in their attic, and we just uncovered some incredible toys. So I'll pin the tweet up here if you haven't seen it. We went through the beasts this morning, which was really a pleasure.
Did your parents not let you play with your toys? Is that why they're all in packages?
I just wanted to keep them special.
40-year-old virgin style.
Yeah. Does he not take the toys?
That's his whole thing. He just has toys all over his apartment. They're completely like mint. And then he starts dating a woman who makes him sell all of them on eBay. Well actually, she doesn't. She doesn't make it.
She makes the metaphorical joke about him not taking his toy out of the package to play with it.
Right. Yeah. That's symbolic.
I got 2 kids, so I obviously open up my toys.
I play with my toy all the time.
Whoa!
Okay, we've got a big show today. We've actually got a lot of really good cult questions. We've got updates. And I want to get a comic book thing out of the way real quick as well. I think a lot of people have noticed that we've been reaching out to you about cult content because, one thing that we really want to do in every comic book, in addition to using the book of lore as inspiration for the plots, is we also just want to put a bunch of cult content artwork in every comic. And so we realized that for, I guess, legal reasons, we need to actually get permission from you all to include it on the pages. So we've been doing that, but I really want to think of a more efficient way to do this. I don't know, Dotta. I think you mentioned something, or I don't know about how to do this better.
I have no idea. I think we just have to ask people when we do it in the first place. People should give permission if we're going to print something and sell it. That's what I think.
Okay, so I guess we don't have an more efficient way rather than just
all you have to do is
one-on-one
scream
reach out.
back at us and we're covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know, you had some questions about the comic that we'll definitely say a lot about. Actually, why don't we just do that now? Bear, I think you've got a lot to say on this front. Or do you want to just go ahead and ask your question? I saw it in the Secret Tower, but just repeat it here.
Sure. Hey everybody. Hope everyone's doing well.
What's up, Bo?
Hey. Yeah, I was contacted by Nalgene about the revenue share based on comic sales, and he was kind enough to kind of let me know that it's based on, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's based on issue by issue the number of words/lines in each comic book that a character has that determines their kind of rank and revenue split, and that's done per issue. But I was kind of interested in how you're going to calculate or decide on what percentage of the total revenue would be allocated to that revenue split to holders, or if there was any approach that you had in general to how that process will occur for all the media expressions.
Yeah, Dotta, why don't I take the part and explain how we sort of define the different buckets, and you can talk about the revenue split. Is that cool?
That sounds great.
Okay, cool. So, it's a great question. Obviously, you know that the backbone of this project is to sort of build a new paradigm between a fan and franchise, or cult and franchise. And so the way we looked at the comic book specifically, and it will work differently on every media expression, but the way we defined the buckets is actually quite similar to how the Screen Actors Guild, SAG union, approaches it, generally speaking. So it's basically there's three buckets. There's leads, there's guests, and then there's appearances. And so leads, you can imagine, might be on the cover and are a little bit more, sort of in the limelight. And so essentially it's all defined by the amount of words that are spoken, right? And so that's the parallel between the Screen Actors Guild sort of union rules. So the more words you speak, if you speak above a certain amount of words, then you are considered a lead. If then you fall below that line of sort of dialogue, then you will be in the second bucket, which is sort of guest appearance. And then the third bucket is if you don't have any lines at all, but your wizard actually appears visually, in the background. Let's say there's a scene in a bar and there's a couple wizards in the background. That would be appearance. And Dotta can talk about it, but the rev share is sort of mimics or mirrors the involvement of those three buckets.
Yeah. So for me, it's first off, it's an anchor of the entire project. The point of this project is that people can create stories and characters that then get collaborations from outside people. So in this case, it would be Magic Machine. So the idea is that you invent things that get rolled up into these larger media expressions, and then you're able to commercialize it, right? That's the point of the entire project. That said, I think that we're still figuring out how to make that work, both legally and both the structure wise. So, for example, for this comic book, given everything that we've invested in, the artwork, the marketing, the coloring, all of these things, these books are not actually going to be profitable, right? This is a marketing expense for us at this point, and it's not super clear that we're going to sell so many comics that it's profitable, particularly for issue one. ideally over the life of a series, of course, but not in the beginning. So I think if we were being kind of like more specific, there wouldn't even be any revenue sharing for these first few issues because it's just been like basically an expense for us. That said, because the point of the project is to be able to like have people create things that then get like turned into these real artifacts, we want to make sure that we're sharing what revenue does come in as early as possible, and it just sets a good precedent and it lets us test things out. So to that end, the first comic is we're going to share basically a percentage of the revenue, not even the profit, but the revenue that Magic Machine received essentially. And I don't know if we're ready to talk numbers. I think we are, Bear. Basically, the idea is we're going to set somewhere around 30% of like basically the net revenue aside for the characters that appear within this comic book, and we're going to adjust it like on a per comic book basis until we make sure we feel like we have something that like works out. I feel like every time you run something like this, you run it, people get paid, and then some people voice some things saying, hey, this felt a little off here, this felt a little off there. And we just want to keep ourselves flexibility because like it's our very first one that we're doing this. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you for answering. Like that 30%
Yeah, of course.
feels high when you're not making any profit. So I really appreciate that gesture. And
well, and that's split across all of the folks who kind of have an appearance, right? It's not like the main character gets 30%. It's like the main characters out of that 30%, the main characters get like I don't know, let's say half, for example, and then the supporting gets another 25%, and the appearance is 25%, or it's maybe it's not split exactly like that. I don't have the numbers in front of me, so give me let me write it down before you quote me on that, but something like that.
No worries, that's all good. And then I guess in the future, would you ever consider an adjustment when things tip over from revenue into profit? I know at this point it's kind of just a gesture, but I'm just looking forward.
Yeah, I can answer that. I think the way, because we don't know the growth pattern, one direction, up or down. We're sort of limiting it to like the first run of the comic, and I think we'll adjust from there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like you said, 30% of all of the revenue is like quite high. I would be surprised. I think that we would probably move something closer to like a percentage of profit in the future, right? Like, so maybe it's bad for us to start high, but whatever. We're just figuring it out.
And also, just to define it, I think we have publisher costs that they will have to take off the top. So I would think about it more as like net revenue to Magic Machine as a company. We will take 30% of that, even before we're recouping, to share with that, just as sort of like a gesture of love and gratitude.
And just a way to like practice what we preach, right? Like we shouldn't make the first thing that where we're making money on the IP and then we like don't actually share. That's just like wrong.
Great, cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Cool.
Tupac, you've got your hand up.
Wait, Tupac?
Tupac?
Didn't they just arrest your murderer?
It's Tupac Shock. It's a different Tupac.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Hey guys, you hear me? Hey, firstly, Scray. Hi everyone. I see some very familiar faces here.
What's up, Tupac? You got something to say?
Hi guys.
All right.
Next.
Right on.
Guys, you hear me?
Oh, maybe he doesn't hear us. I don't know. Whatever.
Can you hear us, Tupac?
No, guess not.
5G. Okay. Yeah,
I can't hear anything. So let's
Hey guys,
move
hi
on.
guys.
Tupac, you can maybe leave and come back if you want.
I'm gonna kick him and then he can come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Another update I want to kind of talk about, and this is somebody's. Okay, let me see. SPZ is asking, why don't we open up for warriors and warrior souls for Halloween and allow one flame to burn up to 5 warriors at once? Okay, SPZ. So first of all, I know last week that we said we're not going to do anything for Halloween, but sometimes plans change, and
doors open.
doors open, and yeah, I mean, Bear, do you want to say anything more about Halloween?
Yeah. Okay. Are you choking? Are you choking on your words?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without saying it. You know,
I'm the master of saying something without saying anything.
Okay, go for it.
So let me go for it. So okay, we were planning on releasing the souls, and nothing else really. We're busy doing a bunch of stuff, but funny enough, we had a conversation with a company that I think most people would know. At least they would know the other projects that they're partnering with. It has to do with 3D models, has to do with a 3D experience. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. And we're going to have an official announcement most likely at the top of next week. But there will be something happening on Halloween. And I'm quite excited about it. And I think everybody's really going to dig it. And it definitely has, is an opportunity, and I think an interesting opportunity to utilize all the beautiful 3D models that Elf and the 3D team made.
It will not involve warrior burning. We're saving that for something else, but it will be super fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. As for warrior burning,
burn them all.
I don't think we'd ever use the sacred flame to burn warriors because internally we've discussed other fun ways, other deflationary mechanisms for warriors. I think the flame is just always for wizards. It's a magical item. It does what it does. What, Dotta? You don't think that?
I don't know. Maybe. Never say never.
Why is your voice going up, Dotta?
Yeah, it's a maybe.
It's non-confrontational.
Look, really, the point is like we've talked about other deflationary mechanisms for warriors that don't use the sacred flame. So anyway, whatever. It's not going to happen this Halloween. Another thing will happen this Halloween.
Okay, so my opinion is that there will be another thing that involves warrior burning, and it might support using the sacred flame. I'm going to try to convince you that the sacred flame might play an ancillary part, so we can discuss it.
We'll argue about that later.
Yeah, we'll argue about it later. Yeah.
But Halloween, no warrior burning. It'll be a fun 3D thing. It honestly might be the coolest thing we've ever done. But we'll see. So I hope that's enough for now. SPZ. I think we'll definitely say more next week, right, Bear?
Yeah, we should have an official announcement.
Yeah, correct. Cool. And there should be some fun videos, and yeah, you guys. Listen. It's gonna be. We're gonna try to stand up something that I think we're gonna put something out there. We don't have a ton of time to do it, but I think at the very least it'll be super fun, and it'll also be indicative of the types of things that we want to be doing going forward.
Yep. And then speaking of 3D, of course we will have all the soul models ready to go. The beasts, they're done. Schlee is asking about 3D beast spawn.
Schlee did the slime. Have you seen Schlee's 3D slimes?
Oh yeah,
really fun.
Schlee's bra slime. I love it.
Yeah, bra slime's out of control at the club, by the way. That's not safe for work.
Yeah, but he's asking about are we going to do 3D beast spawn? Schlee, I think eventually everything might become 3D. I don't know if they're prioritized. I would almost rather do ponies before beast spawn because I think we can have more fun with those. But yeah, it's everything is on my to-do list, Schlee. I'll put it that way. Okay, Dotta, we've got a few GoblinTown questions. So Maddow has a long question. Let me see if I can shorten it. Basically, Maddow wants to know about outsiders, like other communities besides Forgotten Runes playing GoblinTown. He wants to know, like, can you buy more treasure chests to play in the game? Is there a cap on them? Like how many per day you can buy? Actually, Matto, you're here right now. Do you want to just ask your question?
Sure. I mean, I guess I'll just start off by saying, like, how would the experience be for somebody who's out there who didn't get it, and they're like, this game is cool. How do I join in? Like, do they have this like a favorite chest, and then is there a cap on how many chests can be minted so that we prevent somebody from like buying out like a whole bunch of supplies, and just how that general flow works?
Yeah. Part of it is dependent on how the Ape DAO proposal goes. We met with some of those folks this week, or some of the folks involved in Ape DAO, and are talking to them. They had some good ideas on how to kind of like help the proposal go through that I really, really liked. We'll talk more about those as it goes. But I think regardless of whether or not you pay in ApeCoin or whether you pay in ETH, there will be a mint, right? So layer one is that there's an airdrop for all Forgotten Runes tokens holders, meaning like the character tokens, which you talked about, right? So if you're a wizard holder, you get a fat airdrop. If you're a souls holder, fat airdrop. A beast holder gets a big airdrop. Warriors will get like a chest as well. And so Forgotten Runes, like characters, will get a token, like at minimum, like one warrior will get you like, a settlement and a road, so you can play the game and start collecting resources. If you came, and that will be like one per token for Forgotten Runes tokens. If you knocked on the door, so we had, Cool Cats and World of Women and Punks and Apes and Moonbirds. If you knocked on the door for Halloween, you already received a treat. And so also for knocking on the door per wallet, we will airdrop, like one chest, which is like just enough to have like, a settlement and a road and maybe some rarity mixed in there for fun. But so the baseline is there'll be a big airdrop for a good number of people. And then of course, if ApeDAO approves the proposal, we'll also give airdrops to some of the sets of their tokens, right? Which would be like Bored Apes, Kodas, whatever. Okay, so there's a good amount of just like chests on the open market that people can have for the airdrop. After that, we'll do a mint. We'll probably do the mint first. Even everyone will know how many chests they're getting. Then we'll do a mint, and you can pay to get more crates. We haven't like set exactly any kind of like limits necessarily. It's not like a piece of art where you need to have this really constrained supply. Actually, like the more pieces that are out there, the better. You'll get a little bit of a head start on the game. We probably do want to constrain it from someone just like buying 1,000 pieces on day one and like beating everybody to death. But we'll have very generous caps in terms of what can happen on that mint. And then you can basically start and play. So I don't know if that answered your question.
No, I didn't answer it fine. And then I just had one small second part of the question, which was, like, is there any kind of like co-op team play in the sense of like us joining guilds or anything, or more along the lines of just like if we want to, we can kind of like communicate with each other and be like, hey, we're gonna like pretty much double team to get this guy off of our plot, or how's that like?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to add teams, particularly I think a natural slot for teams would be like you can join a team of an NFT collection that you own. We talked about like making up new teams that are based on warrior shields or whatever. I think that people already have like tribe identity with their PFP. So I think that that's kind of a tentative feature. We've been told by a few people that would really help. And so I'd like to add it. We also just do have quite a lot of things to finish to get it to ship on time. So it's not 100% that we'll get teams, but yes, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I want to add it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been hit up by 3 different like pretty prominent NFT projects asking for that same exact thing. Just FYI, in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, so we probably just need to do it and take whatever it takes to do it.
Yeah, just let's keep piling bricks on Dotta and the devs team's back. No big deal.
Well, We have a new question from the Discord, and it says, Dotta, long-time listener, first-time caller, I have a quick question. Why does Bear smell so bad, and how do you stand next to him for so long without throwing up? Cheers.
Slim! Slim weighs 85 pounds and thinks he can beat me in a wrestling match.
Yeah. He could.
He's dainty. He's dainty.
But if you had a dance-off, oh no.
Oh, he would win, but we could do a drum off. Maybe.
But Dotta, answer the question.
Oh, well, it's all remote, so there's no like smell-o-vision yet. So we're fine.
But I smell so bad that you guys can smell me through the internet. I will say, I don't know how I'm getting the bad rep for smelling bad.
Yeah,
Bill Gaines out there
good.
like put it in Bearsnake's bathroom. I'm getting crushed over here.
No, Bear smells like the forest mixed with like wood. He smells great. So
I'll take that, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing these images that like Shark and Waz are making of us?
Yeah, I posted one on Twitter.
They're amazing.
I guess I should share it here.
We are the most ridiculous group of founders, I think. We just look ridiculous.
We do look pretty ridiculous. I don't care. We're having fun. Let's go.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, related to GoblinTown, Bill Gaines is asking a question that I saw sort of causing a ruckus in the Discord the other day, and a lot of confusion. Bill's asking, will there be pony speed boost airdrops for GoblinTown?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, why has this been so confusing?
Yeah.
Bill even pulled up my message, which is the following. Very early on, I said, oh yeah, I'd love to do it so you can like have your ponies in the game. You can like ride your ponies, right? And we'll like have your warriors and there'll be soldiers and whatever. And like when push came to shove, it like that wasn't gonna work. Like in putting warriors in the game was just too weird. Not to mention the fact that like you'd have to bridge them over to Arbitrum, whatever. So even just like months ago when I said that quote, which was, look, we're not going to put the ponies themselves in the game, but when you have, in the game, let me roll back a second. In the game, you will have goblin Screelings, which are your soldiers that they fight and they die. And then you will have like goblin bosses, and they are kind of like the leader of a band, right? So you load up your Screelings with a boss, and you move around the board, and then they fight and get into battles and kill each other and get killed. Those bosses have a fixed speed, right? How fast can your band move around the board? Well, sorry, I said fixed. That was the exact wrong word because it's not fixed. It's an adjustable speed, and it's adjustable because you can power up. Not only do the bosses have their own speeds, but you can also use power ups. So pony holders. Here's what I'm saying. There is a card that you can get in the game that is that when you apply that card to your band, you get a speed up. So pony holders will get a nice stack of the speed up card. I've even asked the art team to put a little pony head on the card. So I think that's a nice compromise. If you own a pony, you'll get a nice stack of speed up cards, which will be great because then your goblin bands will be able to like march around the board faster than everyone else, which is helpful for running away, helpful for getting back to your settlements when they're being attacked, helpful for getting to the loot drops that are placed randomly along the board. You can get to them faster than other people, which means you can get the loot inside. So if you hold ponies, you'll get a nice stack of pony cards, and that will kind of tie that loop.
Those sound valuable.
Yeah.
I'm going to add on to that question. I saw this ruckus in the Discord the other day, and there was confusion if ponies would be able to be used in the Runiverse MMORPG that Bearsnake is making. I don't even know if we know an answer to that, but I'll say this. If you guys want to see a feature in the Runiverse game, I think one of the best things you can do is tweet at Bearsnake, at the Runiverse account on Twitter, and just like ask for things. I think that'd be very effective. I don't know what you guys think, but
I want to play the game.
But as far as ponies being in it, do you know?
Yeah, it's like writing a letter to your senator. And so then so there are mounts. I mean, Matto's up here. Maybe he should speak to it. Matto. So there are mounts in the game. There are mounts in the game already. And yeah, the plan is that your ponies, you should be able to mount them in the game. I think that's like already planned. I don't think it's even controversial.
Hi. Yep. Okay. I keep on getting booted from the stage. So yeah, there are plans for ponies to be included, 100%. They're not going to be in the first build of the game because there's other things that are prioritized right now. But initially, what's going to happen is the idea is that there's going to be like a movement buff, like even like kind of like without a mount or everything, just kind of like a general movement buff until we actually implement the ponies. There are going to be mounts in the game. So like day one, there's going to be some mounts, but they haven't had time to build out all the ponies yet. So there's going to be like some generic mounts in the game, but mounts are going to be included in the game and they are going to be a commonplace. So yeah, ponies are in, or at least they will be there in the pipelines going. So
there you go.
Great. There you go.
All right, let's get to some lore questions. There's actually been some really fun lore questions asked today. And I'm going to start with my favorite one from Elf J Trul, because it's kind of related to goblins. So Leaf is asking, I'm curious if you've thought about any of the common ancestry between imps, kobolds, and goblins. I feel that they're similar enough in appearance and generalized behavior that they might have common ancestry and then branched out. And then Leaf says, I know myself to be an imp through and through, but I have kobold moments for sure. Parenthetically, I do dumb stuff. And sometimes I go goblin mode as well. Interesting lore discussion. Maybe we need to write it in the book. Okay, Leaf, yeah, this is a great question. Super fun, and I've got a fun answer, I think. So yeah, let's talk about these three and how they relate. Goblins, let's start with goblins. So they are the more misshapen, crude, and degenerate of these three. They're generally not subtle enough to be wizards, but they do make excellent warriors and weaponsmiths. And as we talked about last week, they congregate mostly in GoblinTown, but also Obsidian City and the ports of Alisar's Keep. And their skin is usually a dark, dingy green. On the other end of this spectrum are the imps. And yeah, they're the most refined and civilized and congenial of these three. They're very talented in music and artistry, and they make great wizards, and some of them are even warriors. Many people have even considered the imps to be beautiful, and their skin tones come in many shades of a cool light green. And although they are generally civil, they do have an impish side to them that leads them to engage in trickery and pranks and other dodgy behavior. But generally, all of that is harmless. An interesting thing about imps, though, is that this impish behavior was greatly magnified somewhere in their past when a form of quantum magic was used to create a supersymmetrical breed of dark imps. The Nightmare Imp himself, the Prince of Darkness, he sits on the throne of chaos, and he spawns hordes of dark implings who indulge in this penchant for trickery to destructive ends. Ironically, the only time of year when the destruction is tempered is Halloween, when the Nightmare Imp relaxes a bit and engages in a fun trick-or-treat event from his tower in the in the Vampire Mist. And then finally, we have the kobolds, everybody's favorite. The kobolds are sort of the weirdos that are sitting in the middle between these two. They are sort of the freakish missing link.
And they're like greenish, right?
Well, I'll get to that, Bear. Kobolds are kind of difficult to categorize. They have some goblinish qualities and some impish qualities. They're generally very lovable and dopey, but they never fail to surprise you. They have a reputation for being dim-witted, and yet some have achieved wizard status. Indeed, there are types of magic where being sort of empty-headed is a virtue. And kobolds are not known to be strong or agile or athletic, and yet some are very accomplished warriors. They can be kind and generous, and yet are also known to terrorize. see the Kobolds Crossroad. And true to their uncategorizable nature, nobody can say what freaking color they are. Everyone agrees that imps are a cool green. Everyone knows that goblins are a dark, dingy green. But kobolds are this stubborn shade between yellow and green that has ripped cults apart in disagreement. So yeah, Leaf, I love that question. They are all definitely related, but all exhibit their own really unique qualities. And then Oz also has some fun lore questions. Oz is asking, is the wizard's familiar, the Mesozoic cockatrice, the same creature that would hatch from the beast spawn cockatrice eggs? Oz, yes and no. Let me put it this way. So the Mesozoic cockatrices, they're a smaller, more tame species of cockatrice. That's why they make really good familiars, because they're tame. They make good pets. The cockatrice from the Gate to the Seventh Realm is actually a different species. They are gigantic. That is a triple-crowned cockatrice. And so you would assume that the eggs that they spawned would also be of that species. Now, here's the interesting thing about cockatrices. Let me make a comparison to a bird in our world, the cuckoo. So the cuckoo in our world is a bird that does not even raise its own young. What the cuckoo does is it puts its eggs in other birds' nest. And makes other birds raise the young cuckoo. And the cuckoo babies are very aggressive, and so they often dominate the other bird species in their nest, and they get fed more. And so it's kind of a parasitic bird. Cockatrices kind of do the reverse of that, and this applies to all cockatrice species. They actually steal eggs from other birds' nests, so that then when they all hatch, that foreign bird species serves as food for the young baby cockatrices. So you get these really sort of gory scenes in cockatrice nests where the babies are like tearing at these other species of bird that the mother cockatrice put in the nest. So to answer your question, you really never know what is going to hatch from an egg from a cockatrice nest. But there are two species that we know of so far: the Mesozoic and the triple crowned. And then Oz is also asking three more beast questions. He's asking, let's see. So the beasts that came from the gate, do they roam free in the Runiverse? And is there ever going to be a time when they are imprisoned back in the gate? He's also asking, what is the lore as to why they were locked behind this gate? And are they the one and only creatures of that particular species that were locked behind this gate? So Oz, honestly, all of these questions, they are actually in the TV show script. This is a big plot line in the show. And I'm not going to say much more. So yeah, I'm sorry to not answer that, but yeah. Okay, and actually, Snoop is asking a big lore question that I actually don't want to answer too much right now either. Snoop is asking, are the other realms pixelated too, or are the 3D characters, the wizards, 3D character wizards when they visit the fourth realm, for example? And also, which realm of Earth do we live on? So I think, Oz, you're talking like if there's a gate to the seventh realm, what about 1 through 6? How are they connected to our world, and do these numbers relate to dimensions in space-time? All I'm going to say, Oz, is this is a very complex question, and the questions that you're asking are pretty spot on. I feel like you're thinking about it in the same way that I do. But I don't want to go through all six and seven of the realms right now. But you're asking the right questions. I'll just say that. And I think that's all the lore questions we have for today.
Amazing. Well, we've got a couple of new members this week. I saw that Mala just put in the chat that they helped somebody buy their first wizard. So that's what we'd like to see. So good work, Mala, helping butterhoops.eth pick up Spellsinger Lucinda of the River. That's really incredible. I know that there's been kind of like in this market, it feels like a lot of people are kind of questioning the value of NFTs at all, and then they sort of like discover Forgotten Ruins, and they're like, "Yes, this is a breath of fresh air. This is exactly what I was like hoping for." And so, really, really love to see people helping other people find their first wizard. And then another one that I know is Escapation. He goes by Directive Creator on Twitter. He was saying, "Oh, I need your help picking a wizard," and then Jason DeSante helped offered to do it, and then he said, "Well, I picked my wizard already. That was quick like magic." So welcome Escapation, and welcome Butter Hoops. It's great to have new cult members.
It really is. Yeah, I love to see us growing still, even in this market.
Yeah, we had a call. We did a space last night with Jonah the Gamer. I think that's what he goes by. And it was fun. And we were talking about GoblinTown, and we talked about the Runiverse game, and really appreciate him giving us some space. But then there was someone came up on stage, and she was saying like, I think one of the biggest problems in like Web3 is that like they really just try to attract like these broy gambling guys, and they don't really. You guys say you're trying to create something like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Those brands appeal to all ages. So like, what are you guys doing to appeal to all ages? Like, and not just appealing to men. And I was like, oh, well, let me tell you. And they're like, and she was like, yeah, but it's really women who are the ones who create the cult content of Harry Potter and it's women who are the ones who buy plushies and like, are there any like women in the Wizards cult? And I was like, it was like very, very easy for me to kind of just like enumerate and be like, yes, it's like we have old people, we have young people, my kids are here, we have, I mentioned Tanya's artwork and lore punk singing and so many of like the great contributions that we have from everyone. And so, yeah, that was a fun moment to just be able to be like, yes, I agree with you. Like this sort of project should appeal to everyone. And we've like, we've really had to make it a point actually to kind of keep that culture in our group.
It was a goofy. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say some of the most prolific creative people in the cult are women. I mean, when I was looking for cult content to put in the comic, I unintentionally over-indexed on Tanya Del Rio. Like, there's just so much good stuff from Tanya. She's everywhere in the comic. So, yeah, it's
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Bear.
No, I was just saying it was nice to have a response that sort of spoke to what she was doing, and also that the she was saying. And then I thought the space was super weird, but very fun.
It was weird.
It was like the tone was all over the place, but it's just so nice to get into a space that isn't just wizards that already know what we're doing. So more and more of that to come. And I don't think we even really talked about it, but the trailer dropped. It seemed like everybody really liked it. And
the GoblinTown trailer.
We should talk about that. And honestly, we were gonna have Sumiez from Pixel Shop up. We let me ping him and bring him up here, see if he's around.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sharing the GoblinTown trailer up top. If you haven't watched it, I mean, hopefully you have. But
the trailer is so good, and what I particularly loved is. Okay, I'm very I have a lot of opinions when it comes to like animation things we do. Like the one we did with Titmouse, I almost went crazy, like just directing the hell out of it. But Pixel Shop, they're just so good that I like my touch was very light. I trusted them to just execute it to the fullest extent, and they did. I barely played a role in any of it. There's Sumiez.
Sumiez, we love you. We're singing your praises. Amazing work on the trailer. You guys are just chads.
Thank you guys. Thank you. First time up on stage. This is nice.
You look good. You look good
Thanks,
up here.
Man. Thanks. Feels good.
Tell us about the experience with the trailer. What inspired you?
I mean, it was awesome. You guys just like really let us exercise like our. What's up? Oh, sorry. No, you guys just really let us like exercise our creative freedom, So I think just over the life of working on this project, it really kind of developed a personality of its own. So just we love the story arc of just like introducing a new goblin to GoblinTown, right? Kind of a rags to riches type of story. So that's kind of what we rolled with. Just try to have fun with it, keep the personality in the forefront, and yeah, I don't know, it was just super fun.
What I thought was cool about it is, yeah, you guys really had a narrative angle in with the cutscenes, and then we like sort of worked together. You basically had it like 90% done, and then we went back and we really wanted to be clear what the game was and some of the basic mechanics and sort of how it works. And you guys just like implemented that so perfectly. I think we we should hear from other people that weren't involved in making it, but I think the goal of creating a trailer that like showed a game that felt a little bit different, very fun, very professional, but like conveyed all of the information without being boring and expositional. I think was the goal, and you guys just totally hit it out of the park.
Yeah, that was definitely the strategy was to more or less like show the gameplay through like a cinematic, right? So through the animations, and then meshing that in with the actual gameplay, so people can at least from a high level understand like what exactly this game is, and then hopefully people get excited to play.
Yeah, what I love about you guys is you can do everything. Like, we've worked with so many partners in the last 2 years, and they're always like missing one thing. Like, they can do character designs, but they don't understand how to tell a story, or they can they can animate, but they don't understand cinematography. And it's like, you guys just get it. You can do everything, and I just love working with someone who I can just trust to execute. And it's like, I can tell you guys are having fun with it too, because like you're bringing your own stuff to it, and just like really making it yours. And like, not just the trailer, but the game itself. Like, just looking at the game board, it just feels alive. There's so many fun little details to look at. It's even if you don't play the game, it's just fun to look at. And yeah, I just can't say enough good things about you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing I want to add on top, just like as we like just drench you in compliments, is that like we Dotta kicked off the idea of GoblinTown basically a year ago, and then we were like he was like doing the back end coding, and then it was like, okay, well, what is the game going to look like? And I remember being like, we had worked with you on something, I don't remember what, maybe it was the turnarounds for the
Yes,
Warriors, was that
Souls actually.
on the souls, yeah.
All right.
That's right. And I hit you up and I was like, what do you think about like art directing the game? And you're like, yeah. But like over the past, 8, 10, 11 months, you guys really like provided a lot more than just the visuals. I think Dotta, you could speak to this too. Is I think we really appreciated you guys sort of weighing in on the game as a whole. And it's not just the look; it's the UI, it's the UX, and you guys really just you over delivered. And we're forever grateful.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
It's going to be a fun game.
I mean, the only thing I can say is you guys like really enabled us to do that. So we're just like a bunch of kids playing with toys. You guys created the toys for us to play with, so appreciate it on our side as well.
Sumiez, why don't you really quickly plug before we move on? Plug what you've been working on, if that's okay. Can you tease something for us?
Yeah. So Bearsnake hit me up a while back now, and we've always been like designing art and stuff, but we wanted to get more into game development. That's kind of what the Pixel Shop really long term was always going to be about. So a cool opportunity came up, to try to imagine what kind of game we would want to design in the Web3 space. And so this particular instance is with the Nouns collection, and so we're actually getting ready to drop a proposal through the Nouns DAO and hopefully get this project funded. But more or less for the past 3 months, we've been working on this game prototype, and it's a collaboration between Nouns and Forgotten Souls. And so, I'll be, hopefully, if this gets funded, I'll be kind of around poking some interest at some souls we might be able to use for the game as well. But ultimately, it's a really traditional like indie game, roguelite genre, where you have this happy-go-lucky Nouns town, and then it's getting invaded by the Forgotten Souls. And then in order to incorporate like really the Nouns identity, I think the latest thing we really want to move forward with is that each day, every 24-hour period, you play as a new Nouns character. And so all the Forgotten Souls are kind of the minions, the enemies in the game, So we're the baddies, but it really creates for like a fun atmosphere. And then especially, if you think about some of the most popular video game IP, like people remember the villains, the bosses that you encounter. So just really trying to have like a lot of fun with that character design, finding inspiration from the Forgotten Souls collection, and then hopefully making something pretty exciting.
Everything I've seen from that looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks really fun.
Yeah, we'll have a public demo coming out. I want to say Thursday or Friday. So
what?
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess that is tomorrow. So maybe Friday.
Dotta, Sumiez is going to finish this game faster than Goblins.
Impossible.
That was a low blow. Wow. Wow. Sumiez, thank you so much for coming up. I think Easy Now has been waiting quite a long time to ask a question. Sumiez, you can stay up here too, but Easy Now, what's up?
I think it's Tupac.
Oh, sorry, it's
Hey,
Tupac.
guys.
It's Tupac. Sorry.
You hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Firstly, Scry. I see some very familiar faces here. Been following you for a long time and made animation for you, if you remember me. It's not bad time for NFT, and especially with your game. Are you ready for the release? What's your attitude? Maybe you have some new for the market that we haven't seen yet. Could you surprise us with something?
Did you see the trailer?
Yeah. I see the trailer. It's very cool. I like it. It looks fresh and quality. Looking
We
forward.
just released
to
it.
it.
We didn't release the trailer 48 hours ago, so I think that's really the freshest drop.
It's quite fresh.
Quite fresh.
We just picked it up at the farmer's market. Quite fresh. Take a bite.
Yeah.
What are you asking for? Are you asking like details on like fresh details on the gameplay?
Something like that, yeah. Maybe something new that you haven't announced yet. Maybe something details.
Yeah. I would watch the trailer 20 more times because there's a lot of fresh, juicy details that we have not announced.
Yeah, chicken farm to table.
Yeah, chicken farm to ooze. Yeah, I think there's a lot for you to do. If you watch that video, that trailer, I think there's a lot to glean and a lot of sort of aspects of the game that were not revealed. So I'd go back. That's our fresh delivery from the farm this week.
Are you happy with the results that you are seeing now?
Yes, very happy. Very
I
happy.
got like 100,000 views on Twitter, maybe more.
No, it's like, but collectively, it's like I think it's over 250,000. So we're happy.
Incredible.
Very happy. Fresh.
Yeah, it's very cool, guys. I hope your content will really become as legendary as Harry Potter. It will be a phenomenal success for you all.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Tupac.
I have been trying to get some spot on your project about 9 months now. In the time I have been able to give birth and carry a goblin.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for the support, Tupac. I'm glad you're still with us.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Tupac. I think you're on the scree list, so don't worry about that.
Oh, thank you so much, bro.
Don't come on screen issue.
We'll follow
Screw
in
less for
with you.
everybody. Just kidding.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
You got it,
Okay, guys.
Tupac.
I
We're not
won't
doing. We're not.
take
This isn't
more
this.
time.
You got it. We're not doing Screeless. This isn't a Screeless extravaganza where we're just giving them out. But we had to give it to Tupac because Tupac was making animations back in February.
Tupac has been with us for a while.
Tupac on lock.
Should we let ThugNugs up?
Yeah.
With a name like that, yes.
Tupac and
You can also
Scores.
co-host me, so that way I can help moderate.
Okay.
No one project do this, Only you.
What up, Nugs?
What up?
ThugNugs.
Yeah, thugging and nugging on Solana. What's good?
Oh, hey, Soul. What do you got, Nugs?
You got a question, Nugs?
Yeah, are we just shilling Solana, or are we talking about something?
Man, we're talking about whatever. I got some RuneScape vibes in here from the Wizard Wednesday. You know what I mean?
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah. You know it.
Mining, know what was going on. I had to come check it out. I had to figure out what you guys were really doing.
Very
Nugs.
good.
Making magic.
Yeah, we're just making magic. Nugs, that's like a 60-minute question. But Dotta, let's reset for a second. What is Forgotten Runes? Tell us, please. I want to hear the latest pitch.
Yeah. So we're just like a thuggin' and nuggin' wizards cult.
All right, I'm in. What's the floor price?
Lore, not floor, homie.
Yeah, lore. I'm not sure.
All right, let me hear the lore.
Dotta, give the pitch. Dotta, give the pitch. What are we doing?
So the pitch of Forgotten Runes is that we are creating a franchise that's on the scale of Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or Harry Potter, but where the characters are created and owned by the people. So we are working on an MMORPG video game. We're developing a television show. We're publishing our first comic, and we've got an entire cult of creators who create every single week. And I think that's really the next thing that we should go over is the cult content chronicle for the week. Every single week, we have a crazy amount of work.
I need to upgrade my Discord so I can join the Discord.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, the wizards will help you in the Discord. I just like to describe it as open source Middle Earth.
There you go.
In one line.
Nugs, do you like comic books?
Yes. I mean, I like Playboy. I like comic books. I like both.
Cool. Do you like... Okay, I get that. You have a wide spectrum of interest. Do you like animated...
Somebody pull up the Goblin Playboy.
Yeah. Waz, get started. Let's go. Do you
Someone
like...
tweet it. I'll share it in the
Do you like animated television series?
Yeah.
Do you like video games?
Yes.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
Yo, Nugs.
Yo.
You just found your new home, Nugs. Welcome.
Welcome to the cult, Nugs.
Welcome to the
cult. Yeah, now we're going to be bigger than Nazis.
But is there an NFT?
What?
Yeah, we have wizards, warriors, ponies, and souls.
It's all on ETH?
It's all on ETH.
Okay. MetaMask. Let's dust it off, boys.
There you go.
Get it. Join the Discord though. It goes deep, dog.
Okay. I got a Discord too. If y'all want to come shill the wizards, I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm down with the Nugs Discord. Let's go.
Please raid us.
Thugs, your PFP looks like a chicken nugget and a crypto punk mixed together. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. My friend made a OG project on Solana called Thugbirds, and then the Nugs is a derivative, a chicken nugget from McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love chicken nuggets and CryptoPunks. This is perfect.
Let's go. Steak for sauce.
Steak for sauce. Yes.
Dotta, do you remember way back in the day when we had Wizard Wednesday in Discord and we would let a bunch of random people up?
Yep.
I'm feeling it again.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it.
I am too, actually.
I'd like to bring more Nugs. Is this a every Wednesday thing here on Twitter now?
It's every Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many shows is this? Is this like 120 shows in a row? We haven't missed
Yeah.
a week.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Lost
we missed a
count.
week.
Yeah.
Nugs, you've been slacking, Nugs. Welcome.
Man, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I found a new home.
Yeah,
we got
come back
we got
every week.
sauce. We
It's our
got
cult meeting.
sauce.
Let's do the cult content.
Yeah, we're
Chronicle,
almost
eh?
out of time, Nugs, but we got to
Yeah.
go over some of our cult content, and then we're gonna bounce. So yeah, this is week 37 of the Cult Content Chronicle. Who puts this together, Bear?
Well, it would be the illustrious Tanya Del Rio.
That's right. All right. So number one, we are currently in what is known as Inktober. Wise Sam has been engaging in Inktober every day. And so right now I'm looking at a particularly nice piece. I believe it is of my goat, which is perfect because
Seems
ink
like
is
it.
black and I am the black goat. So yeah, I love this piece, Sam. Also, Zayla Soul, as we talked about last week, is doing a mint. I know I minted one, but I think it is ongoing. So there's a mint of the Secret Tower, and then there's also a really fun sort of wrecked guy mint of Zay's Wizard. Also, Shadowy 30 has been making a lot of I think Shadowy 30 literally redrew every wizard. I still don't know, and I think I expressed confusion about this last week, and somebody told me the answer, and then I forgot. But I am looking at a version of one of Tanya's wizards. Beautiful. And then yeah, there's also just like basically a huge portfolio of Shadowy 30s pieces. I have a feeling Bill Gaines is going to correct me right after Wizard Wednesday for messing this up. But yeah, check it out in the Cult Content Chronicle. Ozma Bro did a beautiful pixel painting of Rabbit Lake. Oz, I think this might be one of my favorite pieces of yours. It's just beautiful. Dotta, have you seen this one?
Yes, it's a whole vibe.
It is definitely a vibe. And what's really fun is like it's got this old sort of abandoned ship and yet cute little rabbits frolicking on the beach. I mean, that is Rabbit Lake for sure. Another really fun piece from the Forgotten Toads. Man, what a fun collection. I hope Forgotten Toads just keeps going. I mean, that needs to be like a full mint, to be honest. I'm sure it takes a long time to draw these, but every single one that I've seen has looked amazing. Dotta, are you like rummaging around in your attic?
Sorry. Yeah, I got a drink of water.
Okay. And then Ian has shared a sort of a work in progress shot. It looks like he's making his wizard. Skateboard. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Super fun. And then Artsy shared a really interesting video of Daniela Illustra's work. Man, I don't know what this is, but it actually looks really interesting. It looks like something more than just a compilation video of Daniela's work. It almost looks like something interactive that's being built. I'm not sure. And then Salty Sloan, everybody's favorite honorary pirate warrior. There's been some really good anime versions of her turned out of DALLE this week. Salty Sloan is an awesome character. And then we talked about at the top of the hour about all the fun Forgotten Runes toys that are being generated. I really want to see this meme continue. I got to say, though, I have not seen a toy of my goat character yet. I've seen Dotta, I've seen Bear, I've seen no evil goats. What up with that?
I'm totally fine with that.
You would be, Bear.
I would be.
And then Shadow Wazir has been, always with the fun memes. Shadow
No,
Wazir,
Shadow Wazir is going off like I've never seen before.
for real.
He's
Meme
the
court.
output. The output is just illustrious.
Yeah.
Constantly, yeah, it's constant. But one piece in particular is of Shadow Wazir giving some advice to a young child lost in the forest. And Shadow Wazir's advice is stay away from bears and never do drugs. What do you think of that, Bear?
He,
Is that some good
know,
advice?
I feel like weed is not a drug.
thank
Yeah.
you, Nugs.
Yeah. Hang out with bears and do drugs.
Yeah. and
I mean, we're in the
Nugs.
bear market, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's always, we never know exactly what Shadow Wazir is saying. He kind of speaks in riddles, but it's a fun piece nonetheless. Speaking of Nugs, Shadow Wazir also shared a fun meme of a wizard summoning chicken tindies. I feel like Shadow Wazir is it being influenced by the Quest 64 meme lord these days.
Ooh, yeah.
Two of the greatest meme lords on Twitter, Shadow Wazir and the Quest 64 guy. And then Matto shared a really fun, a warm and fuzzy version of Magus Devon. Merlin shared a awesome Lego version of his wizard. This was one of my favorite pieces from Artist Rock, this romance novel. Dotta, what was your response to this romance novel?
Oh, it's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. So first off, it looks exactly like the novels that my aunts used to have. My aunt used to have like shelves and shelves of these. And then you look closer and it's Artist Rock and Wazir and he's holding a bell. And they just got married this year. I went to their wedding. It was just so adorable.
Yeah, I mean,
it was cute.
Somebody needs to write this novel, not just generate the cover.
Yeah, find someone who looks at you like Artist is looking at Waz in this picture.
For real. What I really like about it is the AI like weathered the edges of the books. I mean, that is so classic romance novel, right?
So good, so good.
Yep.
Plus, and then the little frog, little fire toad.
Yeah, it's great. Pleasures, aka George Washington's AR-15, did a cartoon style of his wizard. Is this what's that cartoon? Gravity Falls. That's kind of what it makes me think of. Yeah, I think it's Gravity Falls. Not sure. And then Jitsi shared a classic. Dotta, what did Jitsi share?
His kobold, real life size kobold cutout, which we sent to him before he even worked for us. We just wanted to appreciate everything he'd contributed to the Horde. We got his address, which he gave to us, and mailed him a life size kobold, which he still has.
I remember that. I remember when it was like, we need to find a cutout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a long time
Dotta,
ago.
this was your idea to send it to him, and I can't remember why you wanted to send that to Jitsi. Do you remember exactly why?
Because it's a life-size kobold cutout for our classic kobold.
Okay, there's your reason. And people are still making words art. Matto, yeah. Actually, Sweetbread has been doing some really fun word art. Better than the ones I've been making. And so she made one of Magus Devon. She did a kobold last week. Keep it up, Sweetbread.
Yeah, I've got her on push notifications on the app with words. I got to admit the usage has really slowed down, but we are rolling out chat. We should have, we'll probably do like an official, it's in like, it's like live alpha right now. We'll do an official announcement of the chat on Friday. So expect, if you feel some weirdness today, we'll push some updates tomorrow, and then Friday will be kind of a live thing. And we should be getting some social support from some of our partners, which you will find out who they are on Friday. So yeah, Words is not dead. It's just resting. And I think the chat will be really interesting to get push notifications and have groups. So with the words there, you basically have to have 10 holders to enable a chat room. If if you only have 10 holders and one person sells, the chat room is frozen until a new holder joins. So that should be fun. We'll see how it goes.
Cheddar Bob just made a Funko Pop version of my goat, and once again, I look the coolest.
Yeah.
And then, okay, finally in the Cult Content Chronicle, Magic Mondays. Last week was special guest Dr. Slurp. The treat of the week was the Nightshade, and they continued with Wizard Jeopardy. Yeah. And then finally, a reminder that the Runes Rumble tournament is available for sign up. So contact Give a Hoot if you want to sign up for the Runes TCG tournament. And I think that is it for the Cult Content Chronicle. Dotta, Bear, ThugNugs, any final words?
I think it would be fun to have like an informal Dolly generated Wizards costume contest. I'd really love to see, the
That's a
kids
good
running
idea.
around in like Gigas Chad outfits or maybe like a Nightmare Imp costume. So
I love it.
yeah, I don't really have a prize or any sort of formal organization. I'm just planting that idea into the wind.
Dota's unconditional love will be the prize.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'll be coming back next week with a Wizard Nug prepared.
Hell
Great.
yeah!
Nugs.
Let's see it.
I'll be back.
Nugs, DM me. I'll help you find the right sauce.
Thank you. I'm ready. I'm ready to network.
Bear's got the sauce. All right. Anything else, guys?
I'm good.
No, I'm good. Let's wrap this mo up.
All right, y'all. This has been Elf, Dotta, Bear, ThugNugs, a lot of goblins, Matatsuki, and all the
Tupac.
wizards.